The 11th episode of the third season was absolutely phenomenal. Nezuko has achieved the impossible feat of conquering the sun. The Demon Slayers have killed 2 upper rank demons. They have also started awakening Demon Slayer marks, which is another point we'll be talking in greater detail during the video. But the most important, or should I say serious thing about the latest episode, is the Muzan finally has the incentive to show himself. Now that a demon has conquered the sun, he can finally subdue his one and only weakness. Lucky for us, the next season was announced before the Swordsmith arc even ended. We don't know when exactly they are planning on getting it out, but the 4th season featuring the Hashira training arc has been announced. I've also seen leaks stating that the Infinity Castle arc, which comes after the Hashira training arc, is in production as well. Alright, let's talk about it all in this video. From the mysteries floating around in the background, to the upcoming 4th season, and the anime adaptation of the last 2 arcs. We'll go over everything Demon Slayer anime fans should expect from here on out. Don't worry though, there will be no major spoilers. There will be hints though, since we're talking about the future of the anime adaptation. Anyways, shall we begin? Starting off with the narrative implications of the 2nd and 3rd season. We're finally getting more context on Hinokami Kagura and the sun breathing. Upper Moon 1 is obviously a former Hashira, and then there's also the mystery man who gave Muzan permanent PSD sometime in the past. It's easy to find the connections, but it's hard to actually guess the true identity of Kokushibo and the mystery man. Then there are the Demon Slayer marks. When Tanjiro visited Kyojiro's family, his father threw a fit because of the scar on Tanjiro's face and those earrings. He talked about the mark, but then again, Tanjiro didn't know what was going on, at least not yet. However, during the fight against Gyotaro and Daki, he managed to awaken the mark. Then, Muichiro and Mitsuri awakened their marks in the 3rd season. Muichiro became able to single-handedly kill an upper rank demon, and honestly, everything Mitsuri did during the fight against Hantengu was just as impressive. Okay, so we have sun breathing, the Demon Slayer marks, the mystery man, Muzan's PTSD, and the implications behind Kokushibo's past. And let's not forget the idea that there is finally a demon who has conquered the sun. Now, with this in mind, how about we get into the 4th season? The last episode of the Swordsmith Village arc covered chapter 127 of the manga. There are 205 manga chapters in total, which means that right now, as I'm talking to you, 40% of the story is left to be adapted. We're talking about 78 chapters and 3 story arcs, namely the Hashira training arc, the Infinity Castle arc, and the Sunrise Countdown arc. The Hashira training arc is a short, 9-chapter long arc that serves as an intermediary that takes us to the final battle against the demons. Both the Infinity Castle arc and the Sunrise Countdown arc are arcs that feature the final battle. But the thing is, the upcoming season is titled Hashira Training Arc, which is only going to be a few episodes long. So what exactly can we expect from the 4th season? The way I see it, there are only 3 directions Ufotable can take. Either they adapt the whole arc in an hour-long special, a movie perhaps, or they just can go ahead and keep the entire season only a few episodes long. Sounds silly, but hear me out. Only the Hashira Training arc will be a few episodes long, but the next episode will serve as the start of the Infinity Castle arc, and the 4th season will end right before the fight against Akaza. We're talking about chapter 146. That's when Zenitsu is the most epic he has ever been, and it also serves as a good cliffhanger to finish an anime season. The emotional weight of the story that happens before Zenitsu's fight is pretty heavy as well. Alternatively, they can end it after the Akaza fight. What do you think? Of course, it's also possible for them to do it like they did the Mugen Train arc, but there have been leaks that the Infinity Castle arc is in production. Note that these leaks have been around since 2022, maybe even before 2021. Most of them are fake, but it's also true that it takes 3 to 4 years worth of effort to create something as good as what Ufotable puts out. Attack on Titan's 2nd season took 4 years and was only 12 episodes long. It did, however, have the best animation in the whole series thus far. But then again, it doesn't matter if the leaks are true or not. Consider how much blood, sweat, and tears Ufotable puts into each season. I am sure they're going to come up with something pleasing and surprise us rather than disappoint us. Anyways, there's also the 3rd way Ufotable can go about doing this arc. The thing about the Hashira training arc is that it could have easily been longer. They may end up including a few filler episodes to expand on the training, and just overall give us a more holistic portrayal of the Hashira training arc. But this is not as likely as starting the Infinity Castle arc right after the final episode of the Hashira training arc. By the way, although I've been calling it season 4 this whole time, the studio itself has never labeled any Demon Slayer seasons with a number. Following the 1st season, they have always just called it whatever arc is being adapted at that moment. Wait, doesn't that mean the Hashira training arc won't transition to the Infinity Castle arc after all? Yes, but think about it. Do you call the Mugen Train arc season 2? No. And the Hashira training arc is even shorter than that. So how exactly will it play out? Think about the release of the Entertainment District arc. 7 episodes of the Mugen Train arc were released before the first episode of the Entertainment District arc. The same thing will happen here, I believe. We'll have 3 or 4 episodes of the Hashira training arc, and from that point onward, it'll be the next installment of the franchise, the Infinity Castle arc. And the Infinity Castle arc will be divided into parts. The first will be released right after the Hashira training arc, and then we wait for the second part. That's basically the only way to end things off on a proper cliffhanger. Anyways, how many episodes should be in the Infinity Castle arc in total? The first season adapted 53 chapters of the manga, and it was 26 episodes long. The Infinity Castle arc has 47 chapters, so it should be at least 20 episodes even if you consider the fast pacing and everything. Finally, we have the last arc of the story, the Sunrise Showdown arc. Honestly, it'll be extremely cruel for Ufotable to not deliver the Sunrise Showdown arc right after the last episode of the Infinity Castle arc, but I don't see it happening any other way, to be honest. It's shorter than the Entertainment District or Swordsmith Village arc, but considerably longer than the Mugen Train arc. There's no doubt about it though. It'll be the final season all on its own, or they can also make 2 movies, whichever is better for the studio. If it's an anime, I'd say it can be a solid 10 episodes long before the studio will most likely also adapt the epilogue chapters to give proper closure to this modern day shonen masterpiece. Don't listen to the haters though, guys. Demon Slayer is currently the most brilliant produced anime we have out there. Yes, it's a traditional story, but when you have sequences of animation brazen enough to surprise even the most cynical viewer, you have something truly magical on your hands. To top it off, the story of Demon Slayer is beautiful. It's simple and straightforward, but beautiful nonetheless. The thematic consistency and the way it makes you appreciate the human experience is truly commendable. Okay, so as I was saying, we can easily expect 30 to 40 more episodes before this anime leaves us for good. You must have seen those viral anime news articles that say the Hashira training arc is coming out this fall, or that it's coming out in the winter. I personally don't think it'll be that quick. Even if the Infinity Castle arc is in production since 2021 as the leaks suggest, we have to keep in mind that the studio has also been preoccupied with seasons 2 and 3. The earliest we can expect the next season is spring of 2024. The interval between the first and the second part of the Infinity Castle arc will be 6 months max. Then finally, the Sunrise Countdown arc sometime in 2025 to put a closure to Demon Slayer once and for all. Anyways, enough about that. How about we take a look at what to expect from the story itself? For starters, the Hashira training arc will finally show us more about the Hashira, who haven't received much exposure till now. We're talking about Guillaume, Sanemi, and Iguro. 2 of them, Guillaume and Sanemi, are the first and second strongest respectively. But to be fair, Iguro isn't all that behind either. Imagine them with Demon Slayer marks. Now that's a sight to see. Of course, Shinobu and Giyu will be relevant again. Same goes for Muichiro and Mitsuri. Well, they are already pretty relevant considering how they've already awakened their Demon Slayer marks and all. But Tengen Uzui is out, unfortunately. You can't bring a crippled man to a war, can you? There will be no Flame Hashira. Instead, we'll have Tanjiro flashing the sun breathing. On the demon side, you have Muzan, the main antagonist, and then you have the 3 strongest upper-ranked demons left: Kokoshibo, Doma, and Akaza. So who do you think will fight and whom? Tanjiro is obviously the one who will be fighting Akaza because of what happened to Kyojuro and everything. But what about the other 2? We're treading on the spoiler territory now. I guess I should be a little bit more careful. To give you an idea though, the author, Gotugi Sensei, puts a lot of thought into deciding matchups. All I'm going to say is to look forward to the fights. Every character who is able to fight will fight. There will be a lot of death, a lot of sacrifices, but isn't that what Demon Slayer is all about? It's hard to imagine how Ufotable is going to handle the fights that will take place in the Infinity Castle arc, but considering how well they have animated the Infinity Castle up to this point with the visuals and the soundtracks, there is no need to be concerned. It'll be a challenge, but Ufotable is a studio that always delivers. Always. But one thing is for sure, at least in terms of the fight, the best of Demon Slayer is yet to come. Then there's Muzan. Is it possible? Can the Demon Slayers actually defeat this guy? The Hashira training arc is where we learn more of the nuances of how Demon Slayers used to fight in the golden age of Demon Slayers, and why that is important. Of course, the backstory of the mystery man who gave Muzan PTSD will also be explored. Overall, the story picked up pace when Muzan realized that there is finally a demon who can withstand the sun. Now it's all about killing him for good before he can reach Nezuko. All of your favorite characters will get their moments of glory, and I mean all of them. Even good old Genya, especially good old Genya. I mean this when I say this. The best is yet to come. The best backstories, the best fights, the best power-ups, even the best deaths. The most brilliant portion of the story is still yet to be adapted. So there you have it, guys. These are my thoughts on the anime adaptation from here on out. What are you looking forward to the most? When do you think they're actually going to release the next season? How long will it be? Share your thoughts in the comment section down below. Let's continue this discussion.
満開千本桜影吉